So the next few clips, I'm just going to sort of run through an explanation of a felling cut that is used and I use quite a lot for felling forward-leaning trees. It's called the dog's tooth, or it's known to me as the dog's tooth. Other people might call it something different, but dog's tooth cut. It's a form of bore cut, or it's a bore cutting technique, and it's primarily used on trees with the lean. I really like using it, especially on ash. Ash as a tree, due to the like the lamination of the grain structure, they're very prone to split. So I find it very effective on leaning ash, because when you use this cut along with other bore cutting techniques, you're removing the heartwood of the tree. And again, every tree has a centre line of gravity. If you look at a tree and you look at the base of the stump, you basically will draw a straight line from the centre of the stump vertical. That is the centre of gravity for the tree. Now, most trees, again, especially ash, due to their structure, they will want to, or if they're going to split, that's where they're going to be likely to go whenever you're felling. Your compression timber will be the side of which the tree is going to fall. The tension timber is the opposing side. So, for instance, if a tree is going to fall to the right, the timber on the right hand side of the tree is compression. Timber on the left hand side is tension. Now, if you chose to do a standard back cut on a leaning tree, and you've done your gob and you're coming in from the back of the tree, what you can often find, especially if there is a heavy lean, is that before you actually get to the centre of the tree, following sort of that imaginary centre line of gravity, the tree will split, because the top weight basically overcomes the strength of the grain structure, causes the tree to delaminate up its grain, and will split in half, and gives you your barber chairs and epic tree fails, and it's a pretty nasty situation. I've had it myself a few years back, very inexperienced, fell in a tree, and I had a almighty barber chair. Very lucky, but it was a learning curve, is what it is. So this cut, the dog's tooth, is very effective at reducing the risk, because what you're doing is you're removing all of the heartwood. So you're removing that holding timber on that centre line of gravity for the tree. So you remove all of the heartwood, and you basically leave a small amount of holding timber on the back side of the tree, and that is what acts as your trigger point. So everything else, within reason, everything else is the same. You do your gob cut, standard hinge, but rather than just coming in with a standard back cut, doing your gob and then working around the back, doing your back cut, you bore in through the side of the tree, remove probably 75% of the heart of the tree, and you just leave this holding timber at the back. Obviously, the larger the tree, the larger the bit of holding wood, but that piece of holding wood will keep the tree upright until you're ready to fall. And then when you're ready, you would simply just go around and release that bit of holding wood. So it kind of acts like a trigger. It's a very good technique. I've used it, and it's my go-to technique for felling forward-leaning trees. It's very simple. There's no fancy cutting or anything like that. It's very simple. It's one of the reasons why I love it. It's simple and it's effective. But without digressing too much, there's the next few clips that you're going to see are me sort of explaining it a bit further, because for some reason the previous footage that I actually filmed on the day of sort of running through it and everything like that, that file wouldn't download for some odd reason. So yeah, I just wanted to jump on, give you sort of a brief synopsis of what we're on about, and just to give you a better understanding of obviously the clips that you're going to see. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope you found it useful.
We've made a bit of a landing down there, and we're going to attack this kiddie now. But what I'm going to do is just take the opportunity to show you a type of cut. It's not really necessary on this one. It's got a bit of a forward lean, but nothing too drastic. But it's just going to be a good one that I can sort of show you. Right, let's get to. Because I don't know how well you're hearing us over the saw. So we've bored all the way through, and we're out here. So we've got about 2 inches beyond the hinge. So now we're literally just going to take the cut back here. Just come straight back with the saw, and then we're going to stop, withdraw the saw, and then like I say, we're going to come back in and come down at the angle. So I'll just say, yeah, we've got about 2 inches on this side, 2 inches on that side. So we'll come back. Right, so as you can see, that's what I was talking about. We've come all the way to the back on both sides. And there we are there. I've just scored it as to where we're sort of going to come down. So now we'll pop the saw in and we'll literally come all the way down, and then literally, so this section of timber here is acting as our holding wood, And as we cut down through that, that's going to be our release trigger. So when we get probably down here somewhere, all of a sudden the tree's gonna go, and that will be that'll be her. She'll head off down that way. So yeah, by doing this, like I say, you've now taken out all of the tension and compression timber, or a majority of it. Obviously there's a little bit of compression timber still here, but that's our hinge wood, so that's fine. And there's a little bit of tension timber here, but it's a very small piece and we'll be able to get through that very quickly. What we'll do is we'll literally come straight in now, come straight down, and she'll release. And there she is. So that's the reason it's called the dog's tooth, because you just end up with this tooth here, and that's it. So again, just by sort of looking at the stump, we've got a hinge wood there. Obviously we cut our gob. Again, didn't have to be a very deep gob because the tree was leaning that way, so it can be a nice shallow gob. Nice hinge, bored in through here, come all the way to the back, and then we stop, and then this was our holding timber. So this is all that was holding the tree upright. As soon as you come down and cut through, off she goes. Some people don't like to use it, or prefer other techniques, because they say that you don't have control over how fast the tree will fall, which is correct, because you're not able to control the speed of which it goes, because it is literally just like a trigger. As soon as you cut it, the tree falls. But the argument to that is, at the end of the day, when you've got a leaning tree, especially with ash, you can't really take the time. You can't come in with a standard back cut and give it the time and control the fall, because at the end of the day the tree will just split. So for a leaning tree, I think it's a perfectly adequate technique. I actually find it much safer than any other technique that I've tried. It works. It does what it does, and it works. It will hold the tree in place. Obviously, the greater the lean and the heavier the top, the larger you've got to leave that chunk of holding wood at the back. But you make that assessment on each individual tree. You know, it always changes. So I find it a very effective technique. I find it a very simple technique, which is the other thing I like. There's no real complexity to it. It's your standard gob cut, simple bore cut straight through the middle, come back and you leave a wedge. That's it. You're not trying to, do any sort of step pie cut or anything like that. It's just plain simple, easy to learn, easy to do. So I find it very effective, and it's a technique that I'll carry on using, and just wanted to sort of demonstrate it. I did do a video again a long while back on the same thing, but I had a few people and a couple of comments about showing a bit more of the process and getting the camera a bit closer up so that people could actually sort of see what I was doing and what I was on about. So hopefully I've managed to achieve that today, and yeah, you guys sort of can use it to your advantage. So, but that is it. That is the dog's tooth. And well, yeah, good results. So obviously, if any of you got any questions or queries or any suggestions, pop them down in the comment section below, and I'll certainly do my best to come back to them. And but yeah, other than that, I hope you find it useful. Hope you can, you know, use this to then implement it yourself. Give it a go, try it. At the end of the day, a man who's made no mistakes made nothing at all. So have a go, and just be safe, be careful. But thank you very much for taking your time out of your day to watch the video. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you on the next one.